What is up, Galaxians? Welcome to another episode of Galaxy CDs, Rocks, and Flips. My name is Ryan, and I am coming to you, as always, from the Bat Cave. If this is your first time visiting the channel, I am a full-time reseller, part-time YouTuber, part-time podcaster, working out of my home here in the greater Cincinnati area, and this channel is all about the flip life. In today's episode, I wanted to do a quick video. A couple of weeks back, Shop Eric Gifts had a question. He said, is it easy to run a sale on eBay, and is there any strategy that you use for sales? And I said at the time that I would do a quick video just on how I do sales. There are multiple ways that you could do this. I'm just going to share with you what I do. Typically each month, once or twice a month, I will run some sort of clearance sale, trying to move older items. So the thought process behind that is they generally are going to fall into one of two categories for me. One, it was a bad buy that I'm just sitting on and I'm stuck with and I can't get rid of, and it's time to turn it into money. Or two, it's something that was purchased in a bulk lot that I've already made more than my money back on, and it's time to just get burned through it and get on to the next thing. So I look at those two things and I say, what do I want to do? How do I want to go about trying to get rid of those things? And how much money am I potentially willing to lose? Generally speaking, I'm not trying to lose any money on them. So as I go through this, you'll kind of see what my strategy is in terms of how I select the items. If you're listening to this on the podcast, this might be a good spot to pause it, go get signed on to your eBay account and get into your seller hub, and maybe you can walk along with me as I go through this. But with that, let's get stuck in here and take a look. So you can see here on my seller hub, I'm going to go to the marketing tab, and I'm just going to go straight down here to promotions. And when that screen opens, the first thing you see is this little chart bar graph of what I've done by day in promotions over the last month. You can see I got this one big day here, $271 worth of sales from items that were promoted. I'd have to go back and look. I can't even tell you off the top of my head what that might have been. But you can see kind of the ups and downs through here. There are a few days there wasn't really anything. Then down at the bottom, we have the summary of the specific promotions. You can see I was running a save 40% off and a save 25% off. I ran these for 2 weeks. Each of them contained about 500 items. And then it shows me what I did in sales with those two specific promotions. So a nice little summary of what I've done here. You can see $344 and $174 roughly of what I would consider to be just extra business, that are things I may not have sold had they not been on promotion. So now I want to create a promotion. So we go here to this little tab on the right-hand side, click that. Obviously, there are a variety of different things that you can do here. What I'm doing is what they call a sale event plus markdown. So we will click on that. The first thing it asks is choose your discount. You can take a percentage off, or you can take a certain dollar amount off. Because mine is such a broad range of stuff, I'm going to do a percentage off. As you saw in the previous screen, I generally have a couple things going on at one time. For this first part of October, which is when I'm getting ready to do this, I'm actually going to run 3 different tiers. So I always start with the biggest one. This month, I'm going to do 35% off. And again, I don't mind giving that big a discount for 2 reasons. Number one, I've got huge margins already in most of this stuff. So a 35% discount still is going to give me the opportunity to make some money. And number two, like I said, this is primarily older stuff that either the money's already lost because it's been here so long, or the money's already been made because it was part of a big buy that I've already sold enough good stuff with. So I don't mind to do a pretty steep discount. We're going to go down here and select items. There are 2 ways you can do this. You can create rules using categories. I individually select items just in case there's anything in there that I want to specifically delete. So we're going to select items. On this screen, you have some options. You can go into your categories. You can search by either your store's categories or by eBay categories. So if you want to narrow it down even further, you can do that here. In my case, I want everything to be looked at, so I'm going to leave it with all inventory. Then you have a couple of filters that you can use. The first one here is by price. As I said earlier in this video, I ain't trying to lose any money, so I don't want to select items for a 35% discount that I may be offering free shipping on, that if I give 35% off will fall into an area where paying for shipping is going to end up costing me money. So I generally start these at $10 to $12. In this case, I'm going to use 10. And then you can put in the maximum price. I'm going to use 1,000. I don't think I have anything anywhere near that expensive listed right now, but we'll just use that for the sake of argument. You click the filter and we can see here I have 3,531 items selected. The maximum I can have in any one of these is only 500. So that obviously is not going to work. So the next thing I do is to sort by days on site. How long has this item been listed? Again, I'm targeting the oldest stuff here. So I'm going to start with, let's call it 250 days out to 500 days. Again, I've only been on here a little over a year, so I know I don't have anything older than that. Filter that again. That gets me down to 564. So I'm getting closer, but I'm not quite old enough yet. So let's bump that to 260. I'm at 480, so that's maybe a little long. Let's try 258. 259 might be the magic number. And at 259, that's as old as I can get. So 492 items that qualify in there. So I'm going to make a quick note of 259 because when I do my next tier of discounts, I only want to go to items that are 1 day younger than that. So in this case, it'll be 258 days because I don't want any overlap. So now I've got that. I can click this little radio button to select all the items on this page. I will generally scan down through them real quick just to make sure there's nothing there that I don't want included. There's probably not going to be. I really want to get rid of all this stuff. So slide down here. Lots of records, lots of old DVDs, old science fiction books that I've had for a long, long time. So this is looking like a pretty good selection. I think I've got a couple hundred per page here. It won't let you select all of them at once. You've got to kind of go through and do this exercise by page. Down here, we'll do page 3. Go back to the top and select them again. And now I've got my 492 out of 500 maximum allowed selected. Click on Confirm Selections. And it's going to take you to this page that just gives you kind of a summary of what you're doing. And again, it gives you another opportunity to review real quick if you've got some stuff that you're offering free shipping on that you want to go back and change. I'm good with this. Save and review. This will take me to another page. You can have a sale event name. This is not visible to your buyers. This is just so you can kind of keep track of what you're doing. You can include skipped items when they qualify, or keep items in the sale and block revisions for price increases. I leave those to whatever the defaults are. The date range, it always defaults to today's date and a couple hours out to allow time for eBay to get this thing up and running. I only want to run this for 2 weeks because I want to come back in 2 weeks and reselect the items because things will have moved from one date category to the other. So I'm going to do this one through, let's do the 18th at 12 a.m. in the morning. So this sale will end effectively at the end of Saturday, about 2.5 weeks from now. You can put in a sale event description. This is going to be a fall clearance. Save up to 35% off. It defaults to some pictures. I usually go ahead and make a picture. I subscribe to Canva Pro, so I can go in and make a real quick picture. So let's go in here and do the one I just did, fall clearance, save 35%. That just gives it a little nicer look if anybody happens to go to that page and is looking at all of the items that qualify, just a little nicer than these somewhat blurry pictures that eBay selects. And that's essentially it. When you're ready to go, click launch and it will add that promotion. You'll see here that it has it scheduled. I won't bore you by going through and doing that 2 more times. I'm going to run 3 this month for this first part of the month, 35, 25, and 15% off. But that essentially is how you could go about setting a sale plus markdown promotion. It's fairly straightforward. You have a lot of flexibility to go in and select categories, or if you want to do like I do and just everything that's old, I want to try to get rid of, you can broadly do that. Probably the biggest limitation is that 500 items, which you can select obviously as many as you want below that. If you don't have that big a store, I've got 5,500 items. So I want to do close to 1,500 a month. If you only want to select 50 items, you just keep narrowing it down until you get to your 50 and you're good to go. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, do me a favor and whack that thumbs up button. If this was your first time here and this was really useful information for you, please consider subscribing. Click the bell notification icon to get notified each time I do a new video. And with that, it is time to sell. Thanks, guys.